Hey, what's up YouTube? In this video, I'll be showing you how to make a barbershop. Are you lazy like me? Can you not be bothered to leave the house and get your hair cut? Well, good news. You can at least pretend to have it cut right after you've built this barbershop, because not only have I made the outside of the barbershop, the actual building, but I have also made the inside of the barbershop for you as well. I'll be showing you how to make both the inside and the outside. Don't worry, this comes as one solid package deal. You unlocked the secret coupon in the last video, and I'll show you how to make both of them. This will work well in any city, town, or maybe even a village build that you're working on, or maybe even you just want to build it for the fun of it. Well, I think that's more than enough talking. Why don't we actually get to building this thing? So, if you want to make it, here's what you're going to need. Grab yourself some bricks, some block of quartz, some stone slabs, some stone brick slabs, some stone brick stairs, some red wool, white stained glass paint, and some oak wood doors. Plus, we'll need everything that you can see in the inventory now, plus some more stuff later on. That's right, this is not everything. So you might want to make sure that you have all of this stuff, and once you have, and once you've figured out where you want to make it, I'll be making it right here where I stand, or where I float to be more accurate, and I'm going to kick off this build with a row of 11 bricks in a row on the floor. It will look like this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. I'm then going to go right of this 11th brick by 10. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I'm then going to take this 10th brick and I'm going to extend it forwards towards me by 10. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So we'll have a shape which should look like this. It kind of reminds me of a staple, but more so the letter N. The front of the barbershop is going to be right here, just as we look at it. And what we now want to do, which is one of the more unfun parts of this tutorial, is we want to go up on top of each one of these bricks by 5 with the bricks. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then we just want to raise up every single other one of these exactly the same. We want to add a row of 5 directly on top of them. Yeah, this is one of the unfun parts of the tutorial, guys. Unfortunately, along with doing the floor later on, it's not my favourite part, but the walls are kind of important. They're probably one of the more important parts of this. So once we get these out of the way, we can move on to more fun stuff like decorating the outside and doing the inside. The inside of this thing looks absolutely fantastic. I'm not sure which I like more, the inside or the outside. And we've almost done these walls as well. These walls haven't taken us too long, have they? So we want to end up with something that should look a little bit like this. So now we have a stack of staples. We now, with our bricks, want to go up on top of each one of the 4 corners of our barbershop by 1 with the brick. So on top of each one of the 4 corners, just add a single brick, like this. Easy enough. We then want to connect each one of those together with a row of stone slabs. So we just want to go around in a square shape with our stone slabs, and it'll be quite easy. It just looks a little something like this. You guys know what we're doing here. Really, really simple stuff. So once you've got all of your stone slabs in, you now want to do a stone brick in each one of the 4 corners. Now, I only have the stone brick slabs on me, so I'm just placing 2 of these, but it's the same effect, and we want to have a stone brick in each one of the 4 corners of the roof, on the inside of the roof, like that. You guys can see what I've done. Then we want to connect each one of those stone bricks together with a row of upside down stone brick stairs. Now, it's kind of difficult to see that I'm placing upside down stone brick stairs, and it's difficult to see what the effect of this is, but I'll show you in a second. And you just want to connect those together in a square shape with your stone brick stairs to give you something which should look from the outside a little bit like this. So you've kind of got a layer upon a layer upon a layer of roof. It looks really cool, or at least I think so. I really like it. From the front, yeah, I like that. That's looking nice. And what we can do, since we seem to be kind of like building downwards at the moment, on the front of your build, you want to, starting from underneath the front left hand corner stone brick, you want to place a red wool under it. Then going right of that, a white, then a red, then a white, then a red, then a white, then a red, then a white, then a red, all the way over to the right hand side. Wonderful. Then you can do the same thing underneath, so like red, 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 and then white, 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 white. Then take those rows and then extend them forwards by 1. So you want to take that row, extend it forwards by 1, not the top one, the second one, so that it extends out and it's in line with the brickwork. Well, what you can then do is, starting at the very bottom here, is we want to start from the second brick in on the bottom left hand side, so this row right here, the first row in, and we want to place a block of quartz right there. Then go up on top of that quartz by 2, 1, 2. Then go right by 2, 1, 2, extend it down to the ground. Then, right of this entrance, do a row of bricks that connects the floor all the way up to the top here. We then, going left of this row of bricks, want to do a row of block of quartz. Then, we want to do, starting from the upper half of the first quartz block touching the ground here that we just placed, we want to go right by 3 with the stone slabs. Then, you want to do a block of quartz and connect it upwards, like this. Also, do a row of stone slabs right at the top of this window that we've created right here. Then place glass inside of this window. So you just want to place glass inside of this window like that. Come inside of the build, and we want to place a row of block of quartz directly behind this window. So where you have the blocks of the window, it's a rectangular shape. You want to have a row of block of quartz directly behind it that looks a little something like this. And if you like, you can also carve out the 2 center blocks on the left and right, so you can have something which will look a little bit more like that. Plus, we can now head outside, and we can add a row of white stained glass pane just above the door there, like so. And we also want to add, let's get rid of a couple of things. So we're going to need, for this next part, we'll need like nether brick fence. We'll also need some item frames. Plus we'll need shears. We'll also need, for this next part, some lapis lazuli, some red stained clay. We also need to grab the block of iron, and we also need that door. Okay, this is what we want to do. So, you see here on the right hand side where we have like the red and white wall, right? Well, we want to take this bottom red wall, and right of that, like poking out of the side here, we want to have a block of quartz. In front of that block of quartz, an item frame. In front of that is shears. Above that block of quartz, a nether brick fence. There we have a hanging sign. On the very left hand side here, we want to, can you see this brick that touches this outward red wall? Well, we want to, from this brick, do kind of like an outward diagonal with the block of iron in this position. Above the block of iron, a red stained clay. Below that, you want to place a lapis lazuli. Place stone slabs above and below, and there you have the Pepsi logo. Or alternatively, it's kind of like that old-fashioned barber sign. We then want to place an oak wood door where the door is, and there we have pretty much the outside of the barbershop, minus something. So we're just going to grab a material, we don't actually have it. I'm going to grab dark oak fence, and we need the lamps. Where are you at? We need the redstone lamps, and we also need a power source. I'm going to be using the lever, whatever. So, rhymes. And what we want to do is we want to, right in the center of the front of this, where we have like the left-hand side of the bottom of the window, we want to place a dark oak fence with a lamp on top with a stone slab on top of that. Plus, we also want to place a row of 3 stone slabs just above the door, like that, on the lower half of the upper half of the door. We then want to come inside here, and we want to place a lever just behind where the lamp is, which is that. We've flipped that switch, and we'll notice that that is actually lit up. So we have something which looks like this, and this is actually a really, really nice exterior, or at least I like it. Anyway, once you've got that complete, we can probably do a bit of work on the inside, can't we? So on the inside here, I'm just going to dump some materials, and we're going to need, for this part, we'll need ourselves some quartz slabs by the looks of it, plus we'll need some cauldrons, plus we'll need like the oak fence, we'll need the item frames, plus we'll need the shears once more, plus we'll need the tripwire hooks, plus we'll need the white stained glass block. What else can I say? Can I say plus one more time just to irritate some people? Some redstone lamps, and we'll grab some stone slabs. Okay, so on this wall, as you walk in, directly to the right, the far right wall, we want to have a cauldron slap bang in the middle of the wall. You guys should be able to see where that goes. Either side of that, you want to have 3 quartz slabs. So either count in from like the back, do 3 slabs, place a cauldron, then count 3 more, or just place the cauldron directly. Above the cauldron, you want to place a tripwire hook. Then, leaving a gap of 1, above that, you want to place a redstone lamp with a stone slab above it. That's just a light. And then you want to, in the corners, so in the very corners, on top of the slabs, / the quartz block, you want to place an oak wood fence with item frames surrounding it, with shears inside of that. Like this. So those are obviously supposed to be barber's tools. We also want to have an item frame in this position and this position. So it's 1 block above the center quartz slab on this side of the wall. You guys can see, right? Easy. Well, once you've got that taken care of, what we now want to do is we also want to place some more item frames. So this is kind of tricky to explain where we want to place these, but we want to in the same row that we have these item frames suspended on this right hand wall, on this back wall we want to have item frames that want to be in this position, so like 2 blocks away from the right wall. Then we want to have the same position on the left hand side, we want to have 2 blocks away from the left wall, and then 1 in the center. So if you can see here, so they're like 2 blocks away from the wall and 1 block away from each other, if that makes sense. Those will be used later. Plus, on this wall, we'll do that in a bit. Okay, so that's what we want to have so far. The next thing that we should do before we get too far into this is we should do the floor. So we're going to rip up the floor, including the door, but we'll have to replace that door. We're going to rip up the floor. This floor, I'm going to use the black and white kind of like... I like it for kitchens, but I've also found that I like it for this. I kind of like, instead of just like a normal pattern, I've seen it somewhere. I don't know whether it's in like a movie or maybe even my own barbers, and I've never even realized, but kind of like the black white patterned floor, and I like it. Well, I like it. There's nothing more to say about it. So I'm just going to do the black and white checkered, but what am I doing? I'm going to do the black and white checkered pattern just throughout the barbershop. You guys know how to do this. I'm not going to insult you by trying to say that you can't figure out how to do a checkered pattern floor, because I'm sure that you can. I'm sure that you're more than capable of figuring this out. If I can do it, if I can do it, you can do it. So I'm just going to do this little checkered pattern. It's going to run all the way across the floor. One of my least favorite patterns to do, but one of my favorite patterns to see. I love it. I don't know why it is. Maybe it's kind of like my OCD nature that kind of just likes the uniform, the uniformity. The unified floor, whatever the word may be that I'm trying to come up with that I'm too stupid to think of. I just kind of like how it looks. I don't know. I've got no idea why it appeals to me, but I hope that you guys like it as well. So that's the floor. We have a couple more things to add. So we have a couple of chairs, and to make the chairs we need some stone slides. We also need some... we need some netherbrick fence. We need some oak wood stairs. We also need some wooden trap doors. We'll also need, because why not, grab yourself a switch, plus we also need some, we don't need any more lamps. I'm trying to see what else we need next, guys, without getting too crazy. And we are also going to need, I'm sorry that this is taking so long, some bookcases. There we go, I found it. Okay, so we have 2 chairs. These chairs are right here in front of the 2 center quartz slabs that you have on the right hand side, and they reside 1 block away. Actually, you know what, yeah, 1 block away. So right here and right here, I've just destroyed these. I'm going to place stone slabs in the place of the blocks that I've destroyed, so 1 block away in the center, then netherbrick fence on top of the stone slabs. We then want oak wood stairs facing the wall here. Then we want to have wooden trapdoors either side of the 2 stairs that we've just placed, and that will look kind of good. It's different from most regular chairs I make, looks pretty nice. Plus, you know what, whilst we're here, take out glass pane and do glass pane in each one of these 2. These are supposed to be mirrors. You know how they force you to look at yourself, which is awful for me because I'm so ugly. When you go to the barbershop and they force you to look at yourself, mirrors right in front of you, that's what these things are. We're also going to, with this switch, we're going to be able to light this redstone torch right here. Plus, what we're also going to do is just behind us, as you walk in on the left, we want to place we'll need an oak fence. Above that we want to have another oak fence, so we want 2 oak wood fences just behind the door, then a stone slab. We then want to grab some item frames, and we also need, as silly as it sounds, like something that a jacket would be, like a leather tunic or a diamond chestplate, something like that. And then we're going to place item frames left and right where you can on the side of the second oak fence. And then we're going to place like something that would be a jacket or a hat perhaps. So maybe you could have like, instead of like a leather tunic, so that would be a jacket for instance, you can also have a leather cap, which would be a hat. Just a bit ingenious, I think. We're then also going to grab ourselves some, we don't have the material on us, I think I just wore one of the hats. We need some spruce wood slabs, plus we also need to grab our regular stone slabs out. Okay, so just right of this, the coat hat stand, we want to have a spruce wood slab, just right of it, starting from the ground, with a wooden trapdoor in front of it. We then want to have an oak wood stairs right of that a bookshelf, right of that a stone slab. right of that a bookshelf, right of that a wooden stair, right of that a spruce wood slab with a wooden trapdoor in front of it. Boom, like that. Looking pretty decent, if I do say so myself. I'm going to get rid of most of this, and I'm going to grab, we have them somewhere, we need item frames. Plus, we also need pictures, paintings. We also, as weird as it sounds, some heads, like just normal heads. Any one of the heads that you want, Steve's would actually look the best. Above each one of the 2 seats that we have on the left-hand side, we want to have a single painting. Like, literally a single painting, like this. So, just one block. One. There we go. I don't really want the same one. Game. There we go. That'll do. I kind of like that. Oh, we also need to grab a flower pot, and that's one of your favourite flowers. Mine's always poppy. My favourite flower is poppy. We're going to dump this on the table, just in between the 2 bookcases. Okay, so you know how in some barbers, they don't actually have it in mine, maybe mine's too cheap, how you have like the profiles of people and the hair that you might want to choose? The styles, that's what these 3 heads are going to represent. So on this side, like, oh, would you like Steve's hair? Would you like the zombie's hair? Or would you like the Wither Skeleton's lovely long locks? Kind of up to you. So you could place Steve in all 3 of these, but I think it's actually funny to kind of like choose which one you'd want. And we are rapidly approaching the end of the inside of this, actually. As a matter of fact, I think that we've just about done it. I'm also going to fill the cauldron with water just because I like to do that. I likes to do that. Oh, we also need to fill in the roof. We need to fill in the roof with our white stained glass, or any material you may choose. White stained glass is for me. Plus, I'm also just a very minor change. I'm going to just, on the outside of this, I'm going to add a stone brick path. Well, it's not even a path. I'll show you what I'm talking about. So, just on the outside here, just in front of the actual build, I'm going to just knock out this first row. Oh, also underneath the window, and I'm just going to add stone bricks to make it look a bit nicer. I'll add another door on here since I so nicely destroyed it earlier. And there you have your barbershop. Easy. Nice, easy to make, very quick. So there you have it. Looks great. Works fantastic. Why don't we have a look at this thing? Okay, so let's roleplay for a second. Let's pretend that Spider-Man wants to get his hair cut, because why not? Even superheroes have to get a fresh cut every now and then. So we hop down to the ground from the flying Nimbus, and we open the door, and we get that ringing sound that you get when you open the shop sometimes, like bring bring. We shut the door, we get the same sound, bring bring, and we have to take off our diamond chest plate and our leather cap, just because it's good etiquette, really. We don't really want to have our hair cut with a hat on. It doesn't make any sense. So we can place these in the little appropriate rack, and oh god, somebody's having their hair cut. Honestly, every single time I go down, someone's having their hair cut. Obviously, no one's not, but we've got to pretend. Every single time, it's usually always an old man that has barely any hair. Literally, he just gets his head shaved for the hell of it. He doesn't even grow hair on his head and he's getting it done, but eventually, after reading a couple of magazines and perusing some of the styles that we may want to try, they leave. They walk through the door, bring, and they're gone. We get called up, we get to sit down, and we get to tell them, this week, I'm trying the Wither Skeleton cut. It looks great, looks fresh. So we sit here, we awkwardly make conversation with the barber slash hairdresser, whatever you're going with, and after we've talked about the weather for about 45 minutes, we have a look in the mirror. They pass you that little one that's like on the back, on like a little hand mirror, and they show you the back of your head. I don't know why, I don't know what I'm supposed to say. Yeah, that looks great. I don't know, maybe sometimes they just trick you, like they just don't shave the back of your head at all, and they just leave it, so you look like a crazy person. But this time they've actually got it properly. Spider-Man's looking great, and boom, there we go. That's pretty much everything. There's not too much to go on at the barbers, is it? Roleplay over, everybody. Good scene. That went well. And that's the barbers, guys. I hope that you like it. If you do, I'd really appreciate it if you could give this video a like, a favourite, a share, anything you'd feel like doing to help me out would just always be vastly appreciated. Comment down below, what would you like to see me make next? Always interested to see what you guys want me to make. That's the reason that I've made most of the builds that you see all the way around you, because you guys have suggested them. Follow me on Twitter, @SMC360. Feel free to chat, do the same thing there. Comment down below, let me know what you want me to do next. Check out the cards and the description below for all of my other related builds. Like, I have my real world buildings playlist, which will have loads of stuff like this. I mean, just looking around now, there's bowling alley, there's a cafe, there's a theatre, there's a sweet shop, there's a bank. There's loads of stuff that you guys, if you're working on city or a town, you guys will want to check out that playlist, trust me. Subscribe if you haven't already. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Boom!